Yo, what's going on? How we doing? Good to see everyone here. His camera's a bit close, but it's sort of what I'm working with at the minute. But hopefully enjoying the video so far. I'm giving a good rundown on what the day-to-day is like for a marketing executive working from home. You had a quick look at the setup. I don't really need nor want anything a bit too extravagant because, you know, the more clutter you have on the desk, I believe, results in more clutter up here. And with that being said, I think overall the idea of having less clutter and a clean space overall up here just allows for mental health to be a lot better and allows more stuff to get done throughout the workday. But yeah, let's have a quick discussion about sort of the day-to-day runnings of what I do. So obviously marketing executive is quite a broad term in the first place, and it mostly depends for each industry that marketing executive is present inside of. I'm inside of the marketing and advertising space, so a marketing executive is probably somewhat less tech skilled than a marketing executive who is working for a software development company, for example. I don't need to know how to code. I don't need to know how to do extreme levels of web development. I just have to do a broad range of skills at a very competent level. With that being said, there are a few skills that are mostly generally required from a marketing executive. Firstly, management of certain processes, including email communication, social media, brand development, are all rampant nowadays. I think a lot of startup companies want a marketing executive who can sort of act like a head of marketing or a junior head of marketing in a sense, because you do have to facilitate a broad range of subcategories within the job itself. You're not just doing social media, you're not just doing email, you're not just doing brand development, you're doing basically everything, especially if you're working in a startup environment like I am. Is it a problem? I don't really think so. I think the ability to work for a company that allows you to take on such responsibility in a broad range of subtopics, I think is really valuable for your own personal development, especially if some of you start young like I am. I'm 22 and I've been given responsibilities of someone who has had 4 or 5 years experience, and guess what? I don't have 4 or 5 years of experience, so it can get a bit dodgier sometimes, but that's when you have the good team around you to support you and to help whenever there's a little shortcoming that I am personally having that I need some help with. So what does a typical day in a marketing executive life look like? We follow a 9:30 to 10:30 morning meeting process, and that obviously allows us to not only catch up with each other personally for 10-20 minutes before we start the working day, and obviously if it happens on a Monday, we can catch up on what each other has done over the weekend. But more so, it allows us to align our objectives for the week for the short term, and allows us to also see how we're doing in the longer term objectives as well. Because we are a startup company, we have very limited resources. We also have very limited manpower as well. There's only myself and 4 other full-time employees. We have a couple contractors here and there, but two of the 4 or 2 of the 5, including myself, have only come on literally at the start of January, so literally a week and a half ago at the time of me recording this. So they are still settling in, so it is almost like we still have the bare bones team, but as those people get used to the sort of processes that we run through, they will be getting integrated a lot quicker, and hopefully the crazy workload we have is shortened quite a little bit. And speaking of crazy workload, startup environments are very well known to be very full on. So straight after the 10:30, we will instantly jump into some work, and what that work is varies on a day-to-day basis. It is hard to say. Today, for example, I'm currently working on creating some new email communications to send out to our network regarding new events we have up and coming in January. We have a newsletter that goes out every Friday that I create, manage, and then send out to our entire network. So I start building that on Monday, because you don't want to have to build a humongous newsletter last minute on a Thursday evening when you should be relaxing on a Thursday evening for it to go out Friday morning. I don't like to do that. I like to get all the work done early. And yeah, so that's currently what I'm doing. Obviously there's the ongoing brand development stuff that we do. We're always constantly seeing what is available for us of how we can sort of modernize the brand and what the sort of styling tonality that we should use is, just to sort of align ourselves with people my age, because people my age are starting to come through, finish university, get their proper first full-time position within our industry, and we need to make sure our tonality aligns with them as much as it aligns with people that have been in the industry for 20-30 years. Throughout the day there will be a range of meetings that we take part in, whether those are partnership meetings where we talk with our partners, or whether they are internal meetings that I have with a single or maybe two other members of our team, whether we need to flesh through a process, or maybe we're starting a new project, for example, and we need to make sure everyone is aligned and know exactly what they are doing. Usually I'm on the creative end of projects, so I will either be managing or taking action on creating assets, creating resources for us to be able to use to facilitate whatever end result that is, whether it's a piece of PR that we send out, whether it's a set of social media posts that we schedule, or whether it's email comms, or maybe for example we're sort of updating our LinkedIn banner and profile picture to align with whatever is going on in the world thus far, just to make sure the entire organization is deemed to be up to date with everything that's going on. So yeah, I don't really want to bore you lot with I woke up and had a shower, I made my bed, I go to the gym, I'm going to the gym this evening. I'm not going to record that and show you that, because, you know, I operate as a human being the same way other human beings operate as. I want this channel to sort of be just the content in itself, because I feel like everyone else does anyway. If you want to hear about my gym routine, then sure, I'll include it in the next video, but I don't really want that to be the case. Although we are now benching 85 kg, started from the bar all the way up, now lifting 85 kg. That is, I was talking to my boss about that, and he found it funny because he only weighs 75 kg, and he says you're lifting more than what I weigh, and I'm like, yeah, I can bench press you quite easily for like 15 reps at 70 kg. He found that quite funny. So not to get too techie with our process, but I would like to show you guys just that result for one of our email comms that was sent out that did return 8.48%. That was sent out this morning. It's currently 1:10 as I'm recording this right now. So to get an 8.48% click-through rate is okay for the morning. By our standards, I actually think close to the 9-10% mark is ideal. That's where we kind of want to be at. The open rate, which I'm not going to show, the open rate has been a bit poorer for this email comm that has been sent out. So I've sent through to my manager sort of why I think that is, how we can improve it, etc. And that's one of the things we do on a day-to-day basis at my company. Is we are always analyzing, we are always checking results, we are always keeping up to date with how we are performing with our email comms, with social posts, etc. We have certain numbers we want to hit, and like I say, for example, that click rate right there is very good. The open rate, not so good. You know, we want to be around the 80% open rate, and it was nowhere near that open rate. So obviously we need to check to make sure that none of the emails are being sent to spam, etc. Because that's the last thing we want, especially when I spend a lot of time putting together communications. So yeah, I mean, working from home does offer these benefits of sort of me being able to sort of vlog in the middle of a work day, I suppose, because obviously if I get all my work done in the morning, until obviously they're always longer term projects to work on, but if I just work flat out 10 hours every single day, I'm going to be burnt out after a couple of weeks. That's just how it is. You know, the whole working from home process has been interesting from a company point of view, simply because you are not huddled together as a team. I have no one over my shoulder. I don't have any of that. When that is the case, you can become a tiny bit complacent in your work, and you do have to have managers and people with senior experience just sort of punch you on the back and just say, oh, listen, you're sort of slowing down, can we pick it back up again? And you sort of just say, oh yeah, cool, blah blah blah, and they just carry on with that. Otherwise momentum does get lost. And in a startup industry, in a company that is identified as a startup, momentum is everything. Once you lose momentum, results start to suffer. So yeah, I've got another meeting planned in a couple hours time, and then there are always projects that we are doing. if you wanted me to sort of go more in depth of the processes I've run through within this job role that I have currently, because like I said, marketing executive is a very broad role, and depending on the company you work for, you will be running through a set of different processes. As a startup, you're expected to do everything to a certain level. A marketing executive for a fintech company, you will probably have to be more prolific in other key areas. Like, for example, if you're working for a social media agency, they're going to want you to be incredibly good with everything to do with social media. If you're working for an agency that specializes in direct to sales, then obviously you will have to be an incredible copywriter, an incredible communicator, and be able to just make outbound communications and everything outbound just really perfect. But my job, I sort of do a bit of everything, so they're not expecting senior, high quality, super top 10 in the UK level of work, because I can't do that. I'm 22, like, I haven't been in the industry that long, but I do operate at a decent or high decent level for multiple different things. But if you guys did enjoy it, I do hope you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. I want to do these sort of as regularly as possible, just a little mini vlogs, day of the life sort of things. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll catch you in a bit. Peace.